All right. So the biggest thing I wanted to talk about tonight was coaching. Because a couple of you had said, well, can we talk more about like inviting to coaching and how to get your coaching team built up? And I'm glad you guys are asking about that and interested about that, because we've said it a million times, but that is how you're going to grow your business the most. And that's how you're going to grow your income the most. Okay. So it is a huge part. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to say with inviting to the coaching business is it begins with you. Just like how we always talk about how with our challengers, the biggest way we're going to attract challengers is working on ourselves and working on our own health and fitness journey. That's the same thing with coaching. So the first thing I always like to talk about is having faith in it. So number one, do you believe that you can do it? Do you believe that this is a business that you can succeed in? And do you believe that it's something that can help you reach your goals? So honestly, when I signed up, like I heard about this and I was like, I think this is made for me. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, I'm so excited. And even though I said to Brandon, like, well, you know what? I'll try it for a few months and I'll just see. Like, I really knew in my heart, like, I can do this. I can make this work. This sounds like what I want to do. And I've just had that belief that I can do this. Do you believe that about yourself? Do you believe that's something you can do? Because if you don't really believe you can do it, that's going to come off, and it's going to come off in your invites, and it's going to come off in when you're talking to people. If you really don't have the faith that it's possible for you or it's possible for anyone else, it's going to come off. So it's super important to have a really solid mindset about it. Okay. So with inviting to posting or inviting to coaching, we always talk about public invites and private invites, and it's super important to do both. Okay. So, with publicly, you want to, number one, post about it. So I usually say post about coaching 2 to 3 times a week. So I've had a lot of people message me like, I don't know how to get coaches. How do you get coaches? I don't know how to find a coach. Where do I find them? And then I go to your page and I'm like, well, I don't see any posts about coaching. So people don't really know what it is, and they don't know that they can join you in the coaching. They think they can just join you in the workouts. So it's very important to be posting about coaching because you get what you post for. When I am focusing harder on posting about coaching and talking about it in my stories and inviting to it, I attract coaches. Like it's just what's going to happen when you're talking about it. So trying to post 2 to 3 times a week about it. And the other thing too is like when you're privately inviting people, if you are not posting about coaching, it's not going to make any sense to them because they're not going to really get why. They're going to see what you do, but they're not going to see why you like it or the benefits of it or why they should join you in it. So you need to be talking about it that way too, so that when you invite to it, people can come to your page and be like, oh, yeah, I can see why she likes it. Look at all these things. She's really happy. She loves it. So they can see why you'd want to do it. So you do want to like breadcrumb your story about coaching. So I always say like write a list of 25 things that you love about coaching. Do it tonight. Write 25 things that coaching has done for you, whether you've been in this for a week or you've been in this for 2 years. What has coaching done for you? Physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, financially, like all the reasons. List everything you can think of that you have benefited from coaching, and then just pick 2 or 3 of those things a week to post about. All right. And then the other thing, so we post publicly about it, but then we also want to talk about it in our stories, which I don't think we do enough. So like whenever something comes up in your day about coaching, because coaching affects our whole day. We know that. Like how many times a day do you think about coaching? For me, it's like all day long. So there's lots of different things during the day that you could post about in coaching. So maybe a challenger messaged you and was talking about how amazing they're feeling, and they like fit into clothes they haven't been able to fit into for years, or they have more energy than they have for, hop on your stories and say how awesome it was to get that message from someone and that you love being able to help people in this journey. Like it's so fulfilling to be able to help people and to know you're making a difference. Like you're helping to change lives. Talk about that in your stories. Did you get a new coach tank top in the mail? Talk about that. Show that in your stories. And then do polls in your stories too. Like if you want more information about coaching, click here. People click those so much easier than they will like drop an emoji in a post. They will Half the time they don't mean to. We all know that. but still they will, and you will be able to see who's watching you and who's actually interested, and it can just start that conversation. So don't forget to talk about coaching in your stories and post about it too. So yeah, so that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, so a couple other things I've heard from on talks that I think I haven't really utilized them yet, but I thought they were a good idea, so I wanted to pass them along to you guys too. So one thing is just talk about how coaching fits into your day. So say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to show you like what a typical day is in the life of a full-time working boss mom, and just show them like, this is when I do my work and this is what I'm doing. So in the morning, I'm reaching out and making new connections with people. In the afternoon, I'm checking in with my girls in my group. In the evening, I'm writing a post, or, whatever it is, like show them when you make it work. Because the most common thing I hear from people is, I don't have time. And you do have time. Like everybody has the same amount of time, and it all comes down to priorities. And if it's a priority and it's something you want to do because it's going to help you reach your goals in life, you will make it work. And so show them how you do it. I wake up at 4:30 so I can get it done. Amy Rada used to wake up at 3:30 to get it done. Like everybody has the time, but just show them when that time is for you. So that's one thing I think is kind of cool. That's fun to show in stories. The other thing, I think it was Jatana Jackson. No, who was it? I can't remember who did this, but she said, you do like a post in your stories that the question box and say, what kind of questions do you have for me about coaching, right? And she said, you don't have to wait for people to answer it. Answer your own question, which I think you just go through your stories and answer your own question. I don't know if you guys know if that would work or not, but answer your own question and then screenshot that or whatever, share it, share this question that some random person asked, but it was really you. And then talk about that question. And then, so one whole day you could just talk about different questions people have about coaching. So it's a way to like give information about coaching, make it sound like people are asking you, but you can give information about coaching, and you can like bust misconceptions. So, talk about when you make it work because I'm too busy, or what other things you could talk about. I'm trying to think of some of the things we talk about I'm not at my goal weight yet. I don't know anything about health and fitness, all of those things. Like, how have you been able to make it work type of thing. So I think that's kind of a fun thing to be able to do in stories as well. And then the other thing is privately inviting. So we all know inviting is scary. I think like everybody, I honestly, I was just thinking about this today because someone posted it in Ashley's Diamond thread, was like, I finally am to the place where I can like just really, really quickly throw out 10 invites in the morning and done, when it used to take me all day to do 3. And I thought of that for myself too. And it's so, so true. Like, I think I was like 4 or 5 months into coaching before I started inviting. And then at that point, it was like one every few days. And I was like terrified to do it. And I hated pressing send, and it was horrible. And then I went through like a team cup, and I was like, okay, I did like 2 or 3 a day. And I kind of got into like doing that. And I'm seriously like almost 2 years into the business, and invites don't even like scare me. I can just like, I don't care if I've like sent 3 messages to someone and they haven't replied, I still can send an invite and it doesn't hurt me. And it's like, I was super proud to be able to like just to realize that this week, like it's not scary to me anymore because I know what I'm offering works, and I know what I'm offering can like help change people's lives. So I don't know, it just doesn't scare me anymore. So it is like, keep doing it, because you will get to a point where you just get better and better and better at it. So the first thing I think is important, I don't know if you guys watched Ashley's call last night or not, but she talked about it a lot, about getting excited and showing enthusiasm. So if you're like super scared to send your invite and you don't want to do it, and you're like, I just got to do this to check off my box, it's going to come across in your message. People are going to be able to read through that. So whatever it takes to get yourself pumped up for that invite, do it. So for me, I found that if I do my invites right after my workout, that's like the best time for me, because I'm pumped up, I'm energized, I'm happy, all my endorphins are going, like I feel good. So that is a good time for me to do invites. I can do them quickly, I make them personal, quick, they're good. If I'm doing them in the afternoon because I didn't get to them right away in the morning, I'll often have Energize first, because that always makes me feel good. Or like maybe you have a certain song that you like that just really pumps you up. Or maybe there's another, like sometimes there may be like a short like YouTube motivational like clip you can listen to. I am a huge fan of the book You Are a Badass. That one always like just makes me feel like this is my purpose in life, and it just makes me feel like I have something to share. And I think it's like the last 2 minutes of her book, she talks about how you have a light to share with people, and it always gives me confidence and inviting. So sometimes on the days I'm just like not feeling it, I'll listen to that before I send out my invites, just to find that confidence in what I'm doing again. So whatever it is, get yourself excited and in a right mindset before you send those invites, and it will come off so much differently. When you're enthusiastic about it and excited, that will show, and people will be able to notice that. So the other thing with invites I always try to do is keep it very simple. Try not to just word vomit on them, which is very easy to do because we want to give them all the information and tell them why they should do it. But that is not what you want to do either. So I'll give you some examples of what I do in a little bit. Now, who to invite to coaching. So whenever I do a coach post, any of the people that like that post or comment on that post, those people get an invite to coaching. So whether if it's a post about my workouts, they get an invite to challenge group. If it's a post about coaching, they get an invite to coaching. The other people that I really like to invite to coaching are people, I've been doing it more on Instagram, where you'll find people who are just sharing their fitness journey. They are just talking about their workouts. They're sharing what they're eating. They're doing all this stuff, but they don't just do it for themselves. I'm like, what the heck are you doing this for if you're not getting paid to do it? Like, I would not post at all if I did not get paid to do it. So it blows my mind. So those people I like to invite. Or people, if you look at their profile on Instagram and they're like, likes fitness or likes running or something like that, I will start a conversation with those people and be like, hey, did you know you could like do this and make some money? The other people that I like to invite to coaching are people who tell me that I invited to challenge groups and they're like, oh, I can't, that's too much money. Those people I'll invite to coaching, because I will often say like, honestly, it was like I was nervous to add another bill to my family's budget as well. So it was one of the reasons I decided to coach, so that I could try to make enough money to at least pay for my workouts and my shakes. So it didn't add another bill to my family. So it was like that. It's an easy way to be able to do this for yourself, but not add a bill for your family, or and then I'll say, and at the beginning I was able to just pay for what I was doing, but now I make way more than what I pay each month, and have been able to make extra income for my family. So it's another, and I can't say I've had anyone join me that way, but I've had a solid 10 people be like, sure, I'll learn more about it, then tell me more about it. So at least they are exposed to it. Okay, so then exactly like, how do I invite? So if it's anybody that like likes my coach post, I'll just reach out and say, what I typically say to any new person I reach out to, thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the love on my post about coaching. I really appreciate the support on my coaching journey or whatever. And then I'll say something like kind of in regards to what my post was about. So if it was a post about how I'm able to stay home more with Jackson, I will say like, I'm so thankful that coaching has allowed me to cut back hours at work. And then I'll say something like, I would love to chat more with you about what I do as a coach if you're interested in learning more. And that's it. Like, I keep it so simple. I don't like start going off on like, coaching has helped me do this and this, and I've made friends and this and this and this. Do you want to learn more? Like, people open it and see this huge long message and they're not even going to reply. So I just thank them, tell them one simple thing. Like, I'm thankful that coaching has helped me stay home more. I would love to chat more with you if you're interested in learning more about what I do. And that's it. For people that are sharing their story on Instagram, I'll often reach out and be like, or that because I find them because they're liking my stuff or they're watching my stories or whatever. So I'll say, thank you so much for the love on my post or watching my stories. I appreciate the support on my coaching and fitness journey. And then I'll say, I see that you're into fitness too. Are you a coach as well? And then some people will be like, no, what do you mean? What's a coach? Or I'll just be like, oh, I see you're into fitness too. What do you like to do? And then we'll kind of talk about fitness, and I'll be like, have you ever thought about doing what I do as a coach and making money, sharing your journey just like you already are? That type of thing. So yeah, usually I'll just be like, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Or have you ever thought about, yes, since you're already sharing your journey, did you know you could actually do that and make money doing it? And be able to inspire other people to join you. And then some things, like if I'm talking about just talking to people about coaching, sometimes instead of saying, I would love to chat more with you about what I do about coaching or something, I'll say, I have a few videos to watch about coaching if you would like to learn more about what I do. Because again, like, I feel like some people, when you say like, hey, do you want to chat more about what I do? They're a little bit like, a little intimidated. But if I just say, I have videos for you to watch, that's not as scary because they can just watch these videos. They don't have to talk to me, you know, that type of thing. So sometimes I like to just invite them by offering videos right away. So, and how often to do coach invites? So I try to do at least 10 coach invites a week. Okay. So if you're not really doing them much at all right now, make it your goal to do like 1 a day or 5 a week. Like, cause we know it, out of 10 people that are interested, one person will sign up. So it takes a lot talking to a lot of people. So try to make it your goal to every single day, one of your invites, make it to coaching. All right. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about with coaching too is, what do you do when people want more information? So I've had a couple of people reach out and be like, oh my gosh, this person says they're interested. I don't know what to do. And that's like exactly how I felt when people started being interested in the challenge groups, right? Like when you first started coaching and people are like, hey, I want more information on what you're doing. You're like, oh my gosh, what do I say? What do I tell them? I don't want to say the wrong thing. It's exactly what it is when you're talking about coaching. So I always just make it just like they were interested in a challenge group. So if they say, hey, I'm interested, I'd love to learn more about what you do, I always say, oh, that's so awesome. Like coaching has changed my life. I would love to tell you more about it. What piqued your interest in coaching, or what interests you about coaching? Why are you interested? You always want to get them talking. No matter if you're talking about challenge groups or coaching, get them talking. That is like the biggest thing my husband has taught me. He's a salesman. And he's like, you don't want to do the talking. You always want your customer to do the talking. So I get them talking. And then that way, you know what it is in their life that makes them interested in it. So when you do follow-ups, you can bring that back up and be like, hey, were you still interested in learning more about the coaching? Because, you know, to see if it can help you cut back hours at work too, or something like that. It helps you know what about it is intriguing so that you're not off trying to talk to them about something like they're not interested in that part of it that isn't attractive to them. So get them talking. Why are they interested in it? And then you want to bring them to some sort of information. So most of the time I send them Ashley's blog. I don't know if you guys have been using that or not. But she used to do the Glimpse into Coaching Facebook videos, but now she hasn't been doing those as much. She did a blog post, and she has like a blog that she writes about coaching. At the bottom, she does those videos that she recorded. So that's really where I've been sending them. I'm going to be doing my own sneak peek once a month, so I'm going to use that a little bit more. But if I talk to someone and I don't have a sneak peek coming up for a while, I've been sending them the blog. So I will post that link in our, like, the team call link for tonight. I'll put it in the comments of this conversation so that you guys can kind of see what she did and you can send people there. The only thing I do tell people is make sure not to fill out her application, because then she'll get them and she doesn't need anymore. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so send them to Ashley's blog. That's kind of the thing I've been doing there. So that's kind of all I had about coaching. So tell me what other questions you guys have, or thoughts or comments, all of that sort of thing.
This doesn't have anything to do with that. Thank you so much for that. I just have to tell you guys, my sister-in-law signed up and started in my boot camp on Monday.
No, the one that's been like your biggest hater?
Mm-hmm. I know, right? Oh, I freaked out. Well, she filled out one of my polls on my stories, and so I was kind of like, maybe she just accidentally did that, you know? And I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna invite her. And she responded back, and I about had a heart attack. I was like,
no,
oh my god. So I call my husband. He doesn't answer. I text Tara right away. I'm like, call me ASAP. I gotta talk. And I was like, nobody understands this. And so it was, yeah.
That's
So
I'm so happy.
And she's killing it right now. Like she's doing so good. So
she's gonna become like your like big rock star coach.
I know. Well, and no, she didn't sign up as a coach. She only signed up as a coach.
I know, but
which is fine. But right. Well, and she's already done Beachbody. She signed up back in 2015. So we'll see.
She was a hater of it. She didn't have a good experience.
I know, right? So anyways, thanks for all that information though. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. That's huge.
Yeah. So
aw, I'm so happy for you. All right. Anybody else have fun success stories to share? That was fun. I don't think is Steph here anymore. I think I saw her pop on, but I don't think she's here anymore. She had some questions about Success Club trip. So does anybody else have questions about Success Club trip? Oh yeah, someone gonna say something.
I just was gonna say I signed up.
I'm so excited. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. So Brenna, I was asking Brenna a little bit about how to pay for it. So this is just like for people, even for next year, just to think about. As long as you are hitting Success Club, Brenna's like, I think her room cost like $1,300 this year, and she ended up having to pay $100 total. Like that's it, and she doesn't like, kill it in Success Club points. She did get, Success Club 10 to 12, I would say half the year, and Success Club like 6 or 8, the other half of the year. And she still got most of it paid for. So you really you get every Success Club point you get transfers to like 5 Success Club trip dollars, I believe. And if you hit Success Club all 12 months, you get like an extra $500. If you hit Success Club 10 all 12 months, you get an extra like $800 or something. So, as long as you're hitting Success Club, it is like super cheap chip if it's not free. So just so you know, going forward, it's another reason to hit Success Club. So we're going to go to Punta Cana next year. Okay. And then Melanie, are you still here? Yes. So I know Melanie, you wrote on the post that I did, you had some questions about doing sneak peeks on Instagram. And I've never done one, so I don't know a ton about it. We could ask Steph more about it because I know she's been doing coach sneak peeks on Instagram. But what I've taken away from what she did, which I think was brilliant, is she started a whole new Instagram account for her sneak peek, and then invited people to it. And then when they wanted to join, she added them as a friend on that account. And then she just went live in that account. So only her followers in that group could see what she was doing. So it's not like all 3,000 of her followers saw it, just like the 30 people that were interested or whatever. So I'm pretty sure that's how she did it. I'd have to ask her a little bit more of details. Maybe she could do a call for us or something to share, because I think it's a good idea, because there's definitely people on Instagram who do not have Facebook. So it's nice to have a way, especially when you connect with them. I have a hard time, like when you connect with them on Instagram and then trying to find them on Facebook and add them to your group. I struggle with that a little bit, or I've lost people in the shuffle where they don't look me up. So I agree. I think it would be a nice thing to learn more about. I just haven't done it, but that's kind of what I've taken away of how she's done it. Does that make sense?
No, Kim, like, did she add like those live videos then? Did she add those to like a...
Did she add them to what? I lost you. Can anybody hear Melanie? Okay. Melanie, we lost you. Okay, well, hopefully she'll let us know. Okay, so yeah, just something that we can maybe all think about at some point, or maybe we can even all try to run one together, because I know Steph ran it with her 2 coaches, and they all kind of went live at different times to do it. So it might be something we could think about at some point too. So anything else? We got about 6 minutes left. So other questions or things you guys have been struggling with this week, or just have questions about?
I have another question, but it's a total like tech question because I'm not smart with techie stuff. Okay, so like on your guys' stories, when I'm trying to find someone's, for instance, like when you can like put stuff on top of stuff, how do you do that?
Do
You know what I'm saying?
Do you mean like when someone says like, "Hey, new post"? No, what do you mean?
Let me see if I can find one.
Are you talking with stickers and stuff?
No, I know how to do that, but like, it's like the same post and then stuff goes, like you click to the next one and something else will pop on, but it's the same story and then another something.
I know what you
Here, like,
Do you mean like if there's like words?
I can't see that.
Do you mean if there's like some words and then if you click, you see the next words, but the same words are there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I do.
So like I'm on Tara's right now and hers is like checking out our March Madness boot camp girls, and you hit it next one, it says like they're staying accountable with their workouts and nutrition, and then hit it again and more words. Like I don't know how to do that.
Okay, it's so easy. So here's what you do is you can either like do your background that you want, write the first part of the words, save it, write the second part of the word, save it, write the third part of the word, save it. So then when you go to then you just add do you know what I mean? So then when you go to your photo, you'll have all these, like you have like 10 different things. So
then you just keep clicking.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
So the other way you can do it is you can make your entire thing first and save it, and then erase one, save it, erase one, save it, erase one, save it, erase one, save it. You have to save like 10 of them separately.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, I know. I stories I just don't know how to be super cool with, so I wish I could learn everybody's stories, but
I know, like I watch Ashley's and I'm like even today, and I'm like,
someone asked her in the group what app did you use, and she hasn't replied yet. But one girl said she uses Mojo, Mojo, and she says it does kind of the same thing. So it's one app to look into, but yeah.
I had something else today happen. So I had a girl that I got assigned, like she signed up for like a 14-day free trial. And she like emailed me today and was like wanting recommendations. And I normally will email those people, but never, I think one person has ever replied to me in like almost 11 months that I've been doing this. And like, so we've been emailing back and forth. So I'm like hoping that maybe she'll even sign up for like a challenge back.
That's awesome. And did she contact you first?
Yeah.
How did she? That's crazy. That's awesome.
And and it went to my junk mail, and I was on lunch and I was doing some stuff, and I was like, oh, I should probably look through my junk mail. And that was one of them. And I don't always look through my junk mail, but it was crazy.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You guys want to take a picture yet? I like doing okay. I'm going to do a boomerang of everybody waving. I don't know. That's my thing right now. So, all right. Wave for me. Awesome. All right. Anybody else last thoughts or questions? Otherwise, we will call it a night.
How often do you do the Super Saturdays?
Oh, good question. Yes. Okay. So Super Saturdays are every 3 months. And there's like, so it's like a nationwide thing, and there's locations all over the United States. So there's always one in Minneapolis that's pretty big, and I like the big ones because there's just a ton of energy. It's fun, and they often get some of the super trainers, like Shaun T's been there, Autumn's been there, so we actually get to like do a live workout with them, which is fun. I haven't looked yet to see if we know who's coming. Sometimes they'll have like Beachbody administration, like I got to see Carl at one of them once, so he's like the big CEO. So every 3 months. I know there's one in Omaha, maybe not Omaha, but Lincoln, there's one. We went last time in January, we went to, was it Madison? Yeah, we went to Madison because there was one just a little bit closer. Sometimes they have one in Brandon. They don't always have a live workout with that one because she does it like in her house. But it's just a fun way to all get together, and I love them. I think they're super fun events. Just always like rev you up. Plus, they really live events, like people, like when you post about it in your stories and your posts, like people like that, and it will really draw a lot of attention to your business too. So it's a good way to kind of boost your business too. But they're fun, so you should totally come.
We have testing.
Do you that day?
Yep.
Do you?
I'm the night before, but Riley's that Saturday.
Yes. Well, if you Google like Super Saturdays 2019, you can actually find like all the dates so that you can kind of
Okay.
keep ahead. Yeah. Because I
Awesome.
wasn't able to go to my first one either because I was like, yeah, we got that. Maybe next time.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Yes. All right. Well, you ladies have a good night. Thank you again so much for coming. It always means a lot to me. Bye, girls.